I'm pretty sure everybody's seen this year's Summer Game Fest, and for those who didn't see it, it's a pretty stacked lineup of games that's supposed to be released between the latter part of this year and 2027. And honestly, there's like a lot of third-party games that's going to be coming out, and there's been a lot of people who've been pessimistic about AAA video games within the past couple of years because it seemed like a lot of like high profile AAA video games they've been money grabs, It's just and not a lot of effort's been put into them. And we've been seeing people crash out about it online on YouTube and stuff like that. But I saw this year's Summer Game Fest and I have high hopes for the future for the most part in relation to gaming. Um you look at the Switch 2, there's not too many high profile Switch 2 titles out right now that are like first party games. The only ones I can really think of are Mario Kart World, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Kirby Air Riders, and the Pokemon Legends Z3A game. And and I mean, all those games are actually doing well on a commercial level, but at the same time, there's so many like high profile AAA third party games supposed to be coming out between like now and 2027. And just to name a couple, like you see here on the screen, you have Final Fantasy Resonance, you have the Kingdom Hearts collection, Kingdom Hearts 1 through 3, and then you got Resident Evil Code Veronica. And honestly, like I never thought we'd be getting a Resident Evil game on any kind of Nintendo console because for the most part, Resident Evil has always been M rated, and we all know that Nintendo consoles in general normally cater towards children, but I don't know. I feel like at this point it can help the sales of the Switch 2 and of the games that are going to be featured on the Switch 2 as well. Kingdom Hearts not being on Nintendo consoles like sooner, like a decade or so ago, is actually quite shocking because it's mainly Disney for the most part. It's like a Disney IP, and I think for a while there had been tension between Nintendo and Square Enix, which originated back in the mid '90s, I believe, and I think it carried over into the 2000s, and I think through most of the teens, and I feel like that was one of the reasons why we didn't get too many high profile Kingdom Hearts. Um, video games on like Nintendo consoles, at least no like home consoles, because I don't recall seeing high profile Kingdom Hearts games on the Wii or Wii U or anything like that. But but yeah, I feel like having third party AAA video games on the Switch 2 is a good thing for everyone because not everyone can afford a PS5 or the Xbox Series X. And the Switch 2 isn't exactly like cheap either, but I still feel like it's a good option for those who I guess want to be a little bit more conservative in terms of spending, and the Switch 2 is still really popular right now because I think it came out last year, so it's still popular and um it's still kind of expensive, but it's still an attraction as well. I feel like there are a lot of people who would still like buy Mario Kart World despite all the complaints people made about it. Um, Pokemon Legends Z3 definitely could have been better, but at the same time, it's definitely not a commercial failure either. And you look at the third party AAA games we have coming up on the Switch 2 in the future. Next month we're supposed to be getting a new Digimon game that's going to appear on the Switch 2. I think it's going to appear on multiple game systems, but I'm talking about Digimon Story Time Stranger. I'm not sure whether or not Digimon is still as popular as it was back in the day because I remember back in like I want to say like the 2000s, like Digimon was super popular. Um, I'm not exactly sure whether or not it's still that popular. I hardly hear anyone talk about it. I'm not saying it's unpopular, but you know, it is what it is. We're supposed to be getting new Metal Gear Solid games on the Switch 2 in the future. Specifically in late August, we're supposed to be getting Metal Gear Solid 4 on the Switch 2, along with Metal Gear Solid Peace Walker Master Collection. And And yeah, you got games like Devil May Cry 5 that's coming out on the Switch 2 as well. And I think as far as like first party games are concerned, obviously we're supposed to be getting a new Star Fox game that's actually coming out on the 25th of this month. We're supposed to be getting a new Fire Emblem game. It's Fortune's Weave, and they're bringing it back. It's the sports resort game from back in the day, and yeah, because people who are familiar with like Wii Sports, they'll know that like it was really popular on like the Wii console um, during like I want to say like during the late 2000s, and um, and I feel like Wii Sports Resort is perfect because you got the Wii nunchucks, which actually helps you become more immersive with the game itself. And I think we're supposed to be getting a new Splatoon game in July as well. So yeah, it's just like a lot of like upcoming titles on the Switch too. A lot of them AAA games, some of them first party games. But I don't think it's going to get to a point where like third party games are going to outshine the first party games because historically speaking, that's never been the case. And you always had like a Mario or a Zelda or a Donkey Kong type of game being the best seller on a Nintendo console. But I don't know. I feel like with the Switch 2, we're getting more third party games than we ever saw with like the Wii or the Wii U or anything like that. And it's actually cool to see, I honestly feel like seeing some of these IPs and some of these new games on the Switch 2 is actually a pretty big deal. And it's something that a lot of people, especially children, are going to be excited about. Nonetheless, I still feel like, Resident Evil Code Veronica will be a bigger attraction. It'll probably sell more on maybe the PlayStation 5. Um, and speaking of Kingdom Hearts, there's supposed to be a Kingdom Hearts 4 game coming out in the future. Um, I feel like it's most likely going to be slated for 2027. At least that's what people are expecting, but nothing has really been confirmed by Square Enix as of yet. I wouldn't be shocked if that came to the Switch 2 in the future as well. But yeah, I honestly feel like we're getting a whole slew of third party games on the Switch 2, and I feel like it's something that is going to help the console boost its overall sales in the future.